I am honored to be here today at the 9th annual Tu B'Av International Challah Bake, a day of achdus and unity of Neshei U'Bnais Israel. I want to thank the founders and the organizers of this annual Challah Bake, Mrs. Esty Fogel of Ottawa, Canada, and Mrs. Nesha Grossman of Los Angeles, California. Thank you. A young couple was asked to purchase an auction ticket at a local Chabad fundraiser. And the next thing they know, they are the winners of an annual delivery each week of 2 challahs. They don't really celebrate Shabbos, so every week they give it away. One week they give it to their housekeeper, and one week to their doorman. And one week they're left with the challah, so they decide to invite another young couple for Friday night dinner. The young couple comes in and sees the challahs on the table, and they say, if you're going to have challah, you need to light candles. And then you need to make a blessing on wine. And before you eat the challah, you need to wash your hands, say another blessing, dip it in salt, and then you can eat the challah. And it ends up being a wonderful, enjoyable evening. And it becomes a weekly ritual. Fast forward 2 years later, this young couple is now Shomer Shabbos. And they go to their Chabad rabbi, and they bring him their ketubah, their marriage certificate. They say, Rabbi, we want to make sure that we were married according to Jewish law. And he looks at this marriage certificate, and he notices where the word kala is written, it is misspelled, not as chaf lamed hey, which means bride, but as challah, ches lamed hey. When we do the mitzvah of challah, hafrashas challah, it's really a very simple mitzvah, and of course an enjoyable mitzvah. Yet, it has tremendous mystical power and impact, where a challah can bring forth a kala. In the first book of the Torah, Bereshis, the first pasuk says, Bereshis bara Elokim, Esa Shamayim v'Esa Aretz. In the beginning, Almighty God created heaven and earth. And there are so many commentators on this one passage. And even on the first word, Bereshis, why did God choose this word to open up the Torah? There were so many other linguistically appropriate words that God could have written. Yet, Bereshis. And Rashi, the classic commentary, gives a very beautiful insight. Bereshis means Bishvil Reshis, for Beis Reshis, for my 2 firsts, did I create the world. The first, the Torah, which preceded the world. It is the blueprint of the world. And my firstborn, the Jewish people. Reb Huna b'Shem Reb Matna says a whole different interpretation. He says Bereshis refers to Reshis Arisosechem, the first of your dough, as we read about this mitzvah in Parsha Shalach, the first of your dough, the first of your earnings, Meiser, and the first of your fruit, Bikurim. For these firsts did God create the world. But really, can you actually say that Almighty God created the world for the mitzvah of Challah? How does that match up with Rashi's interpretation? But Rav Huna is saying something very spectacular. He is giving us the recipe and the ingredients of how to approach our mission, our purpose, and our shlichus in this world. When you take the flour and the water and the other ingredients, and you mix them together to create the challah dough, you can no longer differentiate between the different ingredients. It's all one beautiful piece of dough. In order to fulfill our purpose and our mission in this world, we have to create harmony, symmetry, and unity with our families, with our spouses, with our neshama, and with the divine will. What does Almighty God want from me? It is through harmony and unity that we can transform ourselves, our families, and the entire world. And that is why, if you look at the 3 mitzvahs given specifically to the Jewish women, they have all one underlying theme, the theme of unity, harmony. The mitzvah of Taras HaMishpacha, mikvah. If you look into the pool of water, you don't see individual drops like rain. You see one serene, peaceful, tranquil pool of water. And when you immerse in the mikvah, you become one with that water. The mitzvah of lighting Shabbos candles, Neshek, Nero, Shabbos, Kodesh. A whole week we're fragmented. But when we light the Shabbos candles 18 minutes before sunset and we usher in Shabbos, there is a feeling of serenity, tranquility, harmony, and unity. And, of course, the mitzvah of challah. Once you combine the ingredients, it's one harmonious, beautiful piece of challah dough, ready to be shaped. It is through harmony, it is through unity that we can change this world. And that's why, as a matter of fact, the Alter Rebbe, Rabbi Shneir Zalman of Liadi, writes in Likutei Torah that when you lift up a chassan and kala, a bride and a groom, on a chair, on your shoulders, on a table at times, it's not only to create an aura of joy and excitement, but you are spiritually uplifting them into a new reality, a reality where 2 halves of one soul have now become one, united. The he and the she are now the we. The me is now part of the we. And it is through bringing unity into this world that we will see the fulfillment of the prophecy said by the prophet Yirmiyahu, Jeremiah, and later this was incorporated into the 7 nuptials, the 7 brachas, Sheva brachas, that when Mashiach will come, we will hear Kol sasayin v'kol simcha, kol chasayin v'kol kala. We will hear the sound of rejoicing, and we will hear not only the voice of the groom, we will hear the voice of the bride, of the kala. The challah can bring us to the kala. And this year, as we bake and prepare our challah dough, and we take off that piece, let us not burn it in our own ovens. Rather, let us hope and pray that we can bring it to the Kohen in Yerushalayim with the 3rd Beis Hamikdash, as we see the Geula Hamitis v'Hashlemus al Yedei Mashiach Tzidkenu, and let it be now. Thank you very much, and happy baking.